that early exchange against Achilles. So Achilles getting the early kill on a Wukong is pretty crazy for me. The only reason you're picking Wukong is to bully in lane. Like, as we said, this meta is very snowbally. A lot of the solo lanes that are being picked up in the meta currently are gods like King Arthur, like Yorn, like Wukong. They're kind of gods who just bully in the early game, are able to use their lead to out-rotate the enemy, and are able to use that lead to good effect. We do see a lot of rotation here, maybe in the jungle here, coming from Arachne. Humbats is also here, so both junglers looking to this duo lane.
Skirmish happening in the left lane and in the jungle on the left-hand side. I mean, poke traded back and forth, but I don't think either team willing to really pull the trigger here. Just a stare down between Big Monkey and Earlsworth. Right behind the corner here. Just going to send spiders out again. A backup, and I think this is definitely the way you want to play this if you're W key. You can't really be taking these fights early game.
No, not really. We see Wukong getting low once again over in the solo lane. I can see the health bar's going to drop on over there. Arachne looking to invade, and we're going to see another fight in the jungle between the two junglers here. Arachne and Hornbats both getting low.
Low HP bars, but Procrastinate comes in at the right time. Earlsworth jumps in, going down with the overhead slam, and Procrastinate credited for the kill off of the 2. So that is going to be a failed invade here from Big Monkey, and Pretentious Peanuts find themselves on the board.
Yeah, I think as soon as you're spotted there, you just need to leave. Like, both junglers were doing the same amount of damage to each other, and you've got to know that you're in the enemy jungle. You've got to know that the enemy are going to be on their way. He's going to be calling for help. If it's not the support, it's going to be the mid laner, or it's going to be the ADC. And a good rotation there from Procrastinate to be able to help out his jungle. And he actually got credited with the kill there.
I'm just shocked at how low Sir Plat has managed to constantly be on this right-hand side. I mean, to be fair, is building Soul Eater, so you're not going to have that tankiness that you'd expect on maybe some of the other Soul Eaters early on, but I mean, this has got to be something that we only WK can capitalize on.
100%, yeah. If you're we only W, I'm gonna say W key. I can't for some reason my Britishness just cannot say we only W key without messing it up. So I'm just gonna call him W key from now on. But yeah, the Hogler over there is just bullying Sir Plat, and that's not, as I said, it's not something you normally see. Wukong is the bully god. He bullies everyone in lane. He's really hard to deal with. He sort of pressures you out and is able to clear that wave so efficiently. See, I think the dash taunt, but the backflip is good from the knee. But we do see it coming out here onto this Athena.
Yeah, and that's a silence too. Athena's getting low, just going to use the ult to try and get out, and is barely able to do so. Ulted over a teammate in the jungle. Arachne goes in though, finishes off the kill. Big Monkey waiting on the other end. All the meanwhile, Sir Plat gets solo on the right-hand side. Earlsworth just trying to make his way out. No mana and nowhere to go as Big Monkey continues the chase in this Arachne despite an early spill. Finds double kill.
A little spam laugh there just to kind of say, you know what, I've got a return kill from earlier on, so you're welcome. Yeah, just a fantastic play there for them to catch that Athena out. They saw them ulting in really, really low. The team obviously calling it out, and just ulted into the jungle, into the wrong neighborhood, unfortunately, and a good pickup kill there to see this Arachne get 2 kills. And that's good to see. Now we'll level up on this Humbats, even after dying in the early game. Good play there from the early WT.
Monkey is going to be able to leverage this. I don't know if it's quite a lead at this point, but I mean, just being able to leverage the fact that you do have this golden blade. You have a bit of pressure, it would seem, on the right-hand and left-hand side of the map.
Definitely, yeah. If you're to be a W key, this Arachne is purely picked for the early game. I mean, Arachne is fantastic in the late game now with the changes that she had in the previous patch. Obviously, getting that only needing 2 hits now to stun with the 2 rather than the previous. We do see the blue invade, and look at the damage onto Wukong. Even in this early game, only with Golden Blade picked up, the damage is insane, and the execute even better.
Okay, yeah, just walk under the tower and execute the Wukong. Surely that. I just can't see how Pretentious Peanuts are allowing this to happen. And Big Monkey is just running away with all of these invades as of right now. Just going to continue to invade all the way over at the red buff. W King at this right-hand side of the map. Peanuts do, in fact, manage to secure it, though, so that is a small win. And Jordan, I think they have to take the small wins where they can get them.
Definitely, with the way this W Key team is playing. They are living up to their name. They are only W King at all of the buffs. Pretentious Peanuts buffs are W Key buffs. They're not really allowed to take them at all. So, fantastic play once again to rotate over to that blue buff and just looking to out-pressure them everywhere on the map.
As fights?
No. I don't think I've seen the World Weaver popped once so far.
Oh. Guess they haven't been needing it.
No, I don't think anyone on the side of WK's been. I mean, there's been a couple of low health bars. You'd like to think that this Neef would be able to ult, but they haven't needed to. They've had to be able to keep their ult nice and safe, maybe use it for their own self peel because of the WK. Once again, Arachne now picking up Sir Platt.
This Wukong has just been the leading post. Hold that thought though. Thoth is very, very low, but manages to survive just barely. I guess to continue the point, it seems that Wukong has just been the whipping post here for We Only W Key, but I guess some glimmers of hope in other parts of the map. You still have even pressure in the left-hand side. At mid lane, you have a lead. Do you think that Pretentious Peanuts are going to be looking and pushing down these areas of the map? And what do you think they're going to be looking at specifically, maybe in terms of getting kills or some neutral farm?
I think you've got to try and play to your strengths. If you've got a lead over on this left-hand side, and you're just got to do exactly what they're doing right now, which is get on this Neath, and we do see Humbats pick up a fantastic kill onto Neath there, and that was literally what I was about to say. You know you're losing over in the duo lane, solo lane. You know that lane is 0-3, he's 2 levels down. Going over there and trying to gank an Achilles if that's fed is not going to be the play. You've just got to try and let Wukong stall the lane out, not die anymore, and just look towards that late game. You've got to take the wins where you can, and that is exactly what I did there. Look towards this Neef. Look to try and get your Chevalonke ahead, get this Neef behind, who's now a level behind, and poor Sir Platt, he's not having a fantastic time over here in this solo lane.
Not having a fun and interactive experience, if I do say so myself. But three-man rotation over, it seems to stop this, but no, it seems that Rollsworth is just going to prioritize the farm over helping the solo laner. I don't really blame him. I don't know how much he can get done here. World Weaver coming through. Sir Platt recognizes it, heads under the tower to save himself, and now the entirety of this grouping is trying to make their way under tower, but the Silence plus the Dharmic Pillars plus that Execute are going to get another kill around the waist here of Honkler. They continue to push this aggression on the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, they're just playing to where their strength, where they're ahead here, which is exactly what they're doing. Thoth getting low in mid though once again, but there's just no one around to do any more damage to him. And Arachne now diving onto Morgan.
Great self-heal there with the Dragonflight. Definitely saves the life of that Morgan Le Fay. But that is something to note. You did talk about Pretentious Peanuts needing to take this path of least resistance, find their wins in places where they can get them. Inside of the map hasn't been going super well, but I mean, look at what's happening here on the left-hand side. Saffrion pushing Paragon Wolf all the way under the tower, and early on we saw Thoth get very, very low. In fact, still low is yet to back. So do you think Pretentious Peanuts, despite the roughly 2k deficit they're at, you think they're definitely still in this game?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Achilles has a lead, but, I mean, it's an Achilles, you know what I mean? He's going to be fantastic in the late game, regardless if he's behind or not. You know, all he is in the late game, really, is just an ult bot. That's all you're picking Achilles for. And getting Saffrion ahead on this Chevalonke, if it's able to get ahead and stay ahead, is going to be ripping through the members of We Only W Key in the late game here. They're only 2k gold down at 10 minutes. It's not the most insurmountable lead. You know, it's not the worst. We do see a fight breaking out mid, actually.
Yeah, bees get burned off of the Thoth, and now getting chased down here by the Athena. Just trying to provide some space here. Some CC in, but not quite enough to make anything happen. Procrastinate from the ult there, doesn't get much for it. So just a couple abilities, ultimates and relics traded, but nothing more to show of it.
Poor Sir Platt over here, he's not having a great time. Look at the items as well. You see Achilles, he's going to get him with that execute threshold, maybe, not quite, but you see the build. He's got Glad Shield, he's got Prophetic online already, he's even building into the Onis already. Whereas Wukong, he's only got Soul Eater, and Oni is now only able to get tier 2 of Glad Shield. Like, that's a sorry Wukong. He's not even got his second item yet.
Whoa, that's a fast move. Forgot when you teleport out of base, you get that little speed buff. That is a fast monkey moving around there. Saffrion, though, looks to be the target. Burns the beads, well timed there on the World Weaver. And the Athena ult providing enough protections to keep him alive. Big Monkey forced to ult away. Instead, just going to go up and farm these Scorpions. Saffrion dropped very low. Almost dead. Paragon not quite going to land that last auto to finish the kill off. But WK fighting back on the left-hand side, not letting Pretentious Peanuts continue on their chosen path.
Yeah, I think if you're we had a W key, you've got to just Wukong enough. He's behind now. You look at the build, you look, he's 0-4. He's not going to be as impactful. You now switch over to the left-hand side, and you've got to try and do the same to the Chevalonque and try and push the Chevalonque out and stop him from getting his lead. I think it's a good switch up from them. You do see them only having a 2k gold lead, so it's not insurmountable so far. But we are going to have this beacon come up soon, and this probably is going to be the next fight.
Yeah, 3 members here from Pretentious Peanuts will he has only 2 present, just the support and the jungler. Thotho on the way. The Peanuts are going to rotate to this first. They get their ADC over here, and they manage to repel WK from the beacon, and it's a beautiful double taunt that results in the death of the mid laner and the jungler for WK. And it's a huge pick here for Pretentious Peanuts. It looks like they're also going to get this beacon on top of that. And Jordan, Pretentious Peanuts out of nowhere find 2 in a beacon.
Yeah, fantastic from them. You noticed that the Thoth and Arachne both had the beads down, so they didn't have beads in that fight, and you can't step up there with the amount of CC that Pretentious Peanuts have. They've got that ultimate from the Humbats. You've got the ultimate from Athena, sorry, and they're now going to be pick up this gold free from it as well. But there are some members of WK here and around to try and steal.
Diamond Pillars get dropped, Gold Fury gets leashed, Pretentious Peanuts pick it back up. It looks like Ganesh is just trying to steal it away, isn't going to be able to do so. All the meanwhile, Sir Flat has been bullying this Neath, finally getting to do something on this Wukong as the Ganesh falls. A jump in though from the Arachne, ulting in. Means Aegis is enough to sit procrastinate for a little longer, but it's a great flank rotation here from the Honker. Gets a double kill, a triple kill, conveniently ending that streak there on Sir Flat, finishing off the Wukong. And I mean, it was a great start here for the Peanuts, but WK, especially just seeing how far ahead Achilles is, it feels like they're still not quite able to outlast this solo lane.
Yeah, I literally had it keyed up to say how good a fight that was for Pretentious Peanuts, but it kind of just fell a little bit on the wayside. I think they just got a little bit too overzealous chasing out there, and they were able to let the W key sort of, you know, regroup. Achilles and Arachne coming in for a little bit of double action, and Achilles obviously getting a triple ult off, which is fantastic to see. And he now is 7-0 on Achilles at 14 minutes, which is nuts coming out of a solo laner. That execute doing wonders for his KDA stat line. But yeah, Pretentious Peanuts, I think maybe they just could have left a little bit earlier from that gold free fight. Maybe we're just looking for a little bit more blood and maybe get a little bit of tunnel vision onto the side of WK, and the WK able to clean up fantastically there and kind of neutral. I think it was a 3-for-3 fight. Don't get me wrong, Pretentious Peanuts definitely took the win there on that Gold Fury, but WK definitely doing their best to negate that win there from Peanuts.
Jordan, I wanted to take a quick look over at the builds here. Something struck my eye, and it's the second item here for Big Monkey on the Arachne. Looks like that Vital Amplifier going to be the item that gets picked up here. Now, I'm not super knowledgeable as far as the jungle builds go, but this doesn't seem to be something too common to me.
It's not. It's normally something you see out of like your Amataratsus in the solo lane or gods of that sort of caliber. You don't really see it out of your jungler. So very interested to see him go here. For anyone that doesn't know, obviously Vital Amplifier, it gives you a passive after you heal yourself that gives you 10% attack speed and 5% increased basic attack damage for 6 seconds. And Arachne, as we know, has a heal on her 1, so she's going to be able to make effect of this, as we do see the Pyromancer going down here. Thoth ult, maybe not needed to secure, but maybe unsure of the Wukong coming around there and needed to secure that out. But yeah, this Vital Amplifier for me, I think it's a good pickup. It's an unorthodox pickup, but it definitely works for Arachne.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not actually know that Arachne healed off her 1, so I'm learning things today that I did not know before.
Yeah, Arachne 1 is essentially it heals her, so it gives you a little bit of a stim of attack speed, but it also heals as well. So it's a useful ability. Vital Amp definitely gets the bonus out of it.
Looking at the state of the game, WK still retain a lead, only roughly 1,500 gold though, so definitely not anything Pretentious Peanuts can't fight back into. Monkey needs to be careful, getting chased down by the Humbats here, hops up into the ultimate to avoid the taunt. I think the right decision, just getting out of there as fast as you can.
Yeah, definitely. We are seeing a lot more pressure on this left-hand side now. We saw it all on the right-hand side in the early part of the game, but definitely the left-hand side here onto this duo side is definitely where we're seeing this pressure. Both teams looking to try and get us. We do see the Humbats ult coming out. Maybe more of a defense more than offense there.
I didn't even see what that was getting dropped on.
I think maybe Arachne? I think Arachne was right in the corner there, and I think Peanuts got a little bit scared, so they not only dropped the Ultima, but they also dropped the Defender Olympus as well. Maybe getting a little bit too scared of the Arachne around the corner.
Yeah, so some valuable ultimates lost. Primal Fury coming up shortly. Those ultimates might be here in time for that fight. Quarter of the way through. Both teams, though, it seems, just put off the gas, stepping back here, realizing that now is the time to start grouping up. WK going to really start leveraging this Achilles, but I think you're right that Saffrion seems to be the person to play through here for the Peanuts, and they start the Fury.
Yeah, I think this is a smart play. You know that Fear No Evil's down. You know Defender Olympus is down here. There's not really any ultimates up outside of maybe the Morgan Le Fay. So why not take the Fury here? Maybe look to try and get this beacon when it comes up in a minute as well. You know the ultimates are down.
Serplat just sitting here behind Paragon Wolf, jumps in on the Tiger form and gets this Neath to half HP and manages to steal the buff away as well. All the meanwhile, a fight happening around the Stygian beacon. Half HP already on Burlsworth. This level 18 Achilles is just such a menace in the front line here. Unkillable, so much damage as well. A jump in though with the ultimate from Serplat, almost getting the kill onto the Arachne, but not quite. Sir Hawkler has managed to hold off 3 for the time being. But Pretentious Peanuts still have repelled Wieldly WK off of this beacon. Dormant Pillars get dropped, but it looks like Ganesh is one who's going to fall first here.
Fucking drop me.
Kill for Pretentious Peanuts. Some poke being traded, they get the beacon, they surge forward. It's a taunt from Athena. Paragon Wolf has to jump away, and it looks like Pretentious Peanuts got what they came for. They get a kill and the beacon.
Yeah, Platt was doing so much work in that fight there. Like, he was just everywhere in the backline. Was able to push the Arachne out. The Humbats got pushed out, so there's a 4v. The execute, though. Oh, it's been blocked. Fantastic block there from Procrastinate. But he's going to get picked up now by Arachne.
Arachne comes in, does manage to get the kill, but are you going to lose your life in the process? Yes, you are. Big Monkey will fall for that aggressive play. Oh my god! The damage on that final judgment. What was that, 3/4 of the HP there for Burlsworth?
Yeah, poor Bellsworth almost got deleted there. I think he's going to be counting his lucky stars that wasn't a level 20 Thoth, because he would have been deleted at that point. He's only got Book of Thoth, Deso, and Obshard. I mean, he's got 3 items, don't get me wrong, but that is hurting at this point in the game. We're not even at the 20-minute mark here. He's only level 20. He's only got 3 items.
Obshard, Gothel, Curdy. Goodness gracious. Well, either way, WK still manages to hold on to roughly the same gold lead that they had before. But Pretentious Peanuts seem to have been winning almost every fight that they've gotten in recently, save for that one fight around the Fury. So Jordan, as we start to go on, once people start hitting 20, and levels matter less and less, do you think Peanuts are going to have the advantage coming into this late game?
I definitely do. I think, as you've seen in these team fights already, the amount of work that Serplat's able to do on zone, followed by that Fear No Evil, that's going to be massive in these jungle fights. Fear No Evil, as we've seen, has been a real key to Pretentious Peanuts winning these fights so far. And if you're able to get a couple of beats out, as Serplat has been doing, Burlsworth's ult is going to get massive value. On top of an Athena taunt as well, getting even more value. But saying that, Serplat may be in a little bit of trouble under his own tower here. He has not a lot of mana.
How many times are we going to do this song and dance? The World Weaver comes through. The execute is not going to be in time. Well-timed ultimate from Serplat, and now it's an escape call from WK. A great rotation from Pretentious Peanuts saved the life of their solo laner. So Serplat makes it out this time.
That man must have literally just ticked over to the right amount of mana to get to his ult there. He's going to be counting his lucky stars. There's no shot he had any more mana than he needed there. He must have had 0 mana left after he popped his ult. I think he was just very lucky to get out of execute in time. I thought that was going to be shades of the early game coming back there. But with that now, we do see WK picking up this Fire Giant, knowing that the Pretentious Peanuts are pushed out.
Yeah, pushed out. Look, Burlsworth is in left. Saffrion is in left. I guess they're both rotating over the mid now. The 3 members try and rotate over, and it's not going to go easy for them. Honkler.
It's a Plat in the backline, though.
Oh, you're right. Pushing back on this mid laner, trying to get the kill on the Thoth. 4 people, 5 people rotate in to stop it, but they're not going to be enough. Procrastinate kills the Thoth, and Pretentious Peanuts surge forward, trying to finish off WK, going for the jugular. They finish off the Arachne. Procrastinate chasing down this Ganesh. Looks like he's going to finish off the kill here with an auto. WK get a little too antsy, try to pull that Fire Giant, bork the fight on the back end. And Pretentious Peanuts now walk over to this Oni Fury.
For how much Sir Platt has been bullied this game, this man is doing God's work in the late game. Like, he was just chasing around the backline, and there was no one there to save them, and that was the real reason why the Peanuts won that fight, because as much as WK's front line was surging forward, their support was with them, and there was no damage coming out. The backline was having to try and deal with this level 18 now Wukong. He might be 1-5, but he's putting out so much damage with this Soli and this Glad Shield, and he was able to zone off both the damage dealers on the side of WK, and that was the real key to Peanuts winning that fight there. And yes, WK, I think, maybe a little bit of an overzealous call there on that Fire Giant. I think they were just trying to test the waters and see if Peanuts would respond, but a fantastic fight from Peanuts there, and Sir Platt deserves a medal. Maybe a platinum medal. There you go.
Hey, I get it, because Sir Platt is going. Well, I think it is, just like you said, important to talk about just how much this Wukong has been able to do despite the deficit. I mean, end all be all, a solo laner is still a solo laner, especially when he's even levels with the rest of your team. Pretty much all of WK's lead now is just in this Achilles, and while Honker's been doing a lot, it feels like it's not enough to really be carrying these fights as much as they really want to.
Yeah, definitely. And when you've got a Xbalanque that's 3 levels up as well, and your Wukong is now back to pretty much even in levels and farm with this Achilles, that's where the lead has been. Like, as we said early on, you don't mind if your Wukong's behind, but you do mind if your Xbalanque is ahead.
Aggression here, no one pulling the trigger yet. Sir Platt, though, does get dropped to half, getting in a fight here with the Arachne, almost manages to get the kill, but it's a brilliant Fear No Evil to save the life of the solo laner yet again. So Pretentious Peanuts have the lead around this objective. A great double taunt gets the Ganesh here, but chasing away the backline is Honkler, buying time for his team, possibly saving the life of the Ganesh, doing what he needs to do on this Achilles pick, but still advantage firmly in favor of Pretentious Peanuts right now, especially if they can finish off the kill onto this Neath, and that jump is not going to go the direction he wanted. Zafrion just gets dropped a little low, but not enough to fall, and Honkler looks to be the target. Are we going to see the first death this game for the Achilles? Yes, we are. The shutdown onto Honkler going the way of Brilsworth, who picks over to level 20 off of that kill. So Pretentious Peanuts catch a couple stragglers on the back end of the beacon. Go for the Pyromancer. Do you think they're going to be able to pull fire?
I don't think so. There's some low health bars coming out. There is still 3 members of WK available. With these Titans coming down this right-hand lane, I think that's probably going to be the call here. Back, spend your gold, come back to this right-hand lane. Let's try and maybe push this Titan up. But yeah, that was a bit of a crazy fight there in mid. I think Pretentious Peanuts, WK, sorry, are just putting so much into this Wukong. They're just using so many abilities and so many cooldowns to try and kill this Wukong, and every single time he just dashes out. He's so hard to kill. He's obviously got the Somersault Cloud to go into. He's got his dash, 72 transformations to go into. You're never killing him. You've got to just try and avoid him, and maybe try to look to save your cooldowns to kill some of the more important characters like Bellsworth on this Humbats with a fantastic Fear No Evil there. And Sir Platt, to credit, is doing a fantastic job, but if you're WK, you've got to stop putting so much into this Wukong.
Fight down the right-hand side of the map. Peanuts gonna get here first. So now they have a full Titan down this right-hand side. Fire Giant is up. Jordan, if you're Pretentious Peanuts here, are you pulling fire and letting this Titan push up, or are you pushing up with the Titan?
I think you got to try and pull fire here. I think you get more value out of this fire. They've got to spend time trying to kill this. I think even if you try and siege a tier 2, you're not going to get much value out of it, and I think this is the correct call here. Let that Titan push up. It might all take a tier 2, and you can maybe look to get fire off this, and it does look like WK are here, though.
WK seems to be ignoring this Titan. They're going in for the fire. Honkler is not able to steal it away, but all the meanwhile, Brilsworth gets knocked extraordinarily low and is going to fall to the damage of the Thoth, who's now just trying to run away. They get the FP off of one, but can they get out on the back end? Thanks to the chase from Pretentious Peanuts, your tower isn't going to be safe either. The Titan taking the aggro here. Ganesh is going to fall as they continue to chase under this tower. Paragon Wolf goes down as well. The Titan's still healthy. Honkler trying to zone 4, or just trying to get out, but it looks like neither going to go his way. Honkler will fall yet again, and Jordan, this might just be game.
Yeah, this might be the Titans still pushing now. Right-hand Phoenix is down as well. Only 2 members left, just the Arachne and Thoth. They don't have the ultimates either. No Final Judgment available. Arachne does have the ult, but there's 4 members surging forward with the Titan, and this is going to be game, I believe, unless Arachne can do anything about it.
Oh my gosh. The damage on the Arachne just seems to be a little bit too much to handle. The Titans are duking it out. The poke from over the wall seems like it's probably going to be enough for the Peanuts here, though they do need to be careful. 3 members have actually revived here, so Jordan, I believe we were both mistaken here. It seems like Pretentious Peanuts are not going to be able to end here. Saffron just trying to get away the slow. Looks like it's going to be enough, plus the fear, but WK just continues to chase this down. And with Arachne here, oh, almost hitting the World Weaver on one of the backliners. Instead, just going to hit the Athena. Just turning around some damage. Our Pretentious Peanuts, and look at the damage going into that Ganesh. The crits are hurting, and no Spectral picked up for this support.
Yeah, as much as you're chasing out there, you still need to be careful. That's 3 members of Fire Giant, and that's still ex-Xbalanque, but in the meantime, that left-hand Phoenix was actually taken, so WK were able to get that left-hand Phoenix. So yes, they lose the right-hand lane. Yes, their Titan's around half health, but was that just minion push that got that? Surely, I didn't see anyone over there, did you?
It might have been Arachne.
Possibly, maybe Arachne backed. I mean, yeah, that was a misplay from us if we missed that, but I didn't see anyone over. I thought Arachne was in the fight. Maybe I'm mistaken.
I do not know the answer to that. I mean, either way, that does put WK in probably a better position when it at least comes to the next pull on a Fire Giant. It's just, you know, they are behind by 6k gold. How much is that going to matter here? Experience, basically null at this point. You're only 3 levels behind in support. Not going to matter all that much as long as you get the set of speed. But it's stuff like this where Pretentious Peanuts are able to pull a Primal Fury and set themselves even better for this next Fire Giant, and it's really going to start hurting them.
Yeah, for me, it's this Xbalanque. The Xbalanque is doing so much damage. As you saw there, him turn around and just a couple of autos took almost half health off anyone in WK that's chasing down the Xbalanque. And I think that's where we're seeing so much success coming out of this Pretentious Peanuts team in this late game. Just able to get this Xbalanque damage off. And WK don't have it, but while they're getting the pyro, left-hand side is being taken here by Peanuts as a 5-man.
Yeah, WK got a little bit asleep at the wheel here. Again, Honkler trying to defend, but this Achilles does not have the lead he once did. Final Judgment comes through, hits absolutely no one. Is now so flat, trying to space for his team, help them get away after taking this Phoenix. Garment Pillars is very good here, but they all group up here for the combined efforts of Saffron and Procrastinate. And so you lose Honkler to start this fight off. And now with 2 Phoenixes down, Pretentious Peanuts realize their Fire Giant is falling off soon. They're going to back up here, reset, set up for this next fire, play things safe.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them as next fire as well. Yes, you've got this left-hand side Phoenix down, but your left-hand side Phoenix is down, and your right-hand side Phoenix is down. So it's going to be really difficult for WK to be able to defend. Their Titan's half health. They've got to try and keep these waves pushed up and got to try and push these waves up enough that they're able to get impact and try and come in and steal this fire. This is going to be EFG, so I think if Pretentious Peanuts do get this, WK are going to be in a lot of trouble.
I mean, just looking at the situation in the base here for WK, you do have that right Phoenix spawning back up soon. When this Fire Giant comes up, do you think that they're going to be able to step up to this Fire Giant and maybe try and steal it away, or even just try to take a fight, or do you think they just need to rely on the base defense? Because keep in mind, this is going to be EFG. We just ticked over the 30.
I mean, you do have the Final Judgment. So the steal potential is definitely there from WK. They have that Final Judgment available. If they can get Thoth in range, as I say that, he's going to have to dash out. Good dash, though. He does hold the beads, though. So that's going to be good for the Thoth to be able to hold them beads. But I think if you're WK, you've got to keep this Thoth protected. You've got to keep him close enough that he's in range to be able to try and steal this. If you're not going to be able to defend with Achilles on left-hand lane here, you've got to try and use that Final Judgment to steal away this Fire Giant if Pretentious Peanuts decide to pull it, which is exactly what they're looking to do now.
Fire Giant does get WK are missing their solo laner, even though does have TP out there. Able to save important here. Fire Giant though dropped the 3/8 of its HP. Darkest Nights is dropped by the X-Ball. The turn is going to be onto the player of WK. It is excellent CC to finish off the life of this Ganesh and the Achilles. The front line is gone, evaporated. as Big Monkey just trying to make his way out on the webs. Chase down on to the Neath. Paragon Wolf trying to make his way out, but so flat, wrapping in from behind. This Athena has just been such a thorn in the side of the backline of WK this entire game. Cecil has been doing so well on this Thoth, but I don't think it's going to be enough to defend the base here. The Phoenix goes down, a good final judgment, puts some damage through, but damage is all that it is. Made Phoenix still alive. Pretentious Peanuts going to take this opportunity. They're going to play it safe, cross their T's, dot their I's, and take this Fire Giant, it would seem, but they have to be careful. WK shows that they're still willing to fight.
Yeah, I think if they were to play WK with his beats up, he got Fear No Evil and did not beat, and just got absolutely melted by the entire team, and Ganesh also died with relics as well, so not using those key relics, but as we say that, he up to Saffron, and Saffron's deleted!
And he has ult, and he manages to ult away from the Fear No Evil. He gets 2 in that fight, and it's disaster striking for Pretentious Peanuts, who now have to back away from this Fire Giant. A brilliant play there from Big Monkey on the Arachne. Keeps WK in this game for even longer. But Jordan, I want you to look back at the Titan. Look at that HP. They spent so much time up at this Fire Giant pit that they haven't been spending time defending this Titan.
No, any one of the members of Peanuts can walk in and just breathe on this Titan and it'll die. So they're really going to have to play so careful here. If you're the likes of a Humbat or a Shebalonke, you're just going to be able to go and melt that Titan. You've got that potential now. You've not only got them, you know, potentially getting this EFG, you've got someone just walking into base and just killing this Titan. So they have to really going to play this really, really careful. They even have a bomb. If I was Pretentious Peanuts, I'd just be looking to walk in and bomb it and a couple of autos and it'd be dead. So you could end this game so easily.
The backdoor definitely on the table here. Another Stygian Beacon comes up, and it looks like Pretentious Peanuts just going to decide to grab this and play quite reserved here. I'm a little surprised to see them being this passive right now, but I mean, do you think that they're just waiting for an opportunity to look at this Titan? How do you think WK even comes back into this game considering the state they're in?
It's going to be difficult. They need to keep this left-hand lane pushed up. I think the key is getting this left-hand Phoenix back up. And it is back up now, and they need to keep it back up. They need to be here for this fire, but they need to pay attention once again. Look at the right-hand waves, Peanuts. They're pushed up again. They've sent Thoth back. And if I'm Peanuts, I'm pulling this Fire Giant. You've seen this Thoth appear on the map now. His final judgment is not going to be there to steal, and I think that's a misplay from WK to send him back.
Arachne soloing the Oni Fury right now. It's just Ganesh who's here on the Fire Giant. A little more members do manage to rotate over. Monkler looks like he wants to go for the Steel Garment. Killers gets dropped, but the Fire Giant gets secured by Pretentious Peanuts. It's EFG on all 5 as now they run back. Arachne did manage to get that Oni Fury, but I can't help but feel like Big Monkey's presence was sorely needed at that Fire Giant.
Yeah, you saw what he did in the fight before. He was able to get on the backline and only take out both Procrastinate and Saffron in that fight. He traded out his life for it, but that's the 2 damage dealers. You can't do a Fire Giant without damage dealers. So even his presence in that fight there, I think it was definitely a misplay, not only to send the Thoth back. I think you just got to go with the Oni Fury. You know, you send your Arachne potentially back and have your Thoth there to try and steal. You don't have 2 members missing around an EFG pit, especially the 2 key members being Big Monkey and Cecil. You know, they are there to impact on that fight there would have been absolutely massive, and I think a bit of a misplay from WK to send those members back and away from that Fire Giant pit.
Now a 5-man EFG grouping here in the left-hand lane for Pretentious Peanuts and Jordan. We've seen it time and time again. This game looks like it's almost over. It gets extended a little longer, but a double taunt. Let's end that soon, and Saffron deletes Paragon Wolf. Where did he go? As they continue to push this backline, and even Fear No Evil hits 2 into the wall, and Jordan, excellent play here. I think this one has to be game as Monkey is trying his best to fight back. Saffron just deletes Big Monkey as well, and the Titan is going to be soon to follow. Pretentious Peanuts finally find that fight they needed around a Phoenix and managed to end the game.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic play there from Peanuts. What a fantastic combo of ultimates there. You get the taunt off. Neith did have no beads up. Beads was coming up in 8 seconds. A good relic knowledge there to know that the beads were down and able to pick off. Good taunt. Fantastic then follow up with the Fear No Evil with a couple of relics being down there. And fantastic siege there on that left-hand side. They've been knocking for a while. And I think it was only a matter of time before they blew down the door. And they did exactly that. Fantastic gameplay there coming out from Procrastinate and crew over there. Fantastic game from them. Even Sir Platt, you know, he had a bad early game, but a fantastic recovery in that late game, did exactly what he wanted to do, and a good performance overall.
Yeah, excellent performance here from the members of Pretentious Peanuts. And I mean, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head there. Sir Platt had such a rough game early on, but pulled his weight late game, and really that's all you can ask from your solo laner when things do go south that early. But I'd like to give you more time to talk about this with someone else on the desk. We're going to be throwing things back to McCannis to take my spot here. McCannis, Jordan, take it away.
Absolutely. The Peanuts coming back from what was a massive solo lane deficit to show W key that only using the W key is just a little bit pretentious.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a fantastic game, not only to cast, but to watch as well, and to obviously break it down. As much as W key had all that pressure in the solo lane, as we mentioned before, this Xbalanque was just left to their own devices in that left-hand lane. The Neath pick, as we said on the desk before, was really questionable. Only 25k damage coming out of the Neath there. Just not enough damage. Neath is just nowhere near as good as Xbalanque in the late game. And for me, as much as WK had that pressure on that solo lane, Wukong doesn't care if you're getting behind. You know, Wukong is going to still be Wukong in the late game. Whereas if you were able to shut down the Xbalanque, Xbalanque is so much more impactful than Neath in this late game here. And that's exactly what we saw and what we alluded to on the desk, is exactly what happened. Xbalanque was able to run rampant on the backline and was able, not only, I think, assisted by this Athena. I think we didn't really mention Athena much during that cast, but Athena 0-2-19, fantastic stat line, 19 assists coming out there from that Athena, and I think those taunts were then able to put a lot of relics and be able to let Bellsworth do the magic that he did with those Fear No Evils. Fantastic group play overall from the Peanuts.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you there, but it wouldn't be fair to Jigzio to completely ignore everything that he was able to get done on this Ganesh, even on, of course, support of the losing side isn't exactly going to look great. 0-6 and 9 kind of speaks to that exact quality of being the support, but had some very pivotal moments of his own. A few really good Dark Pillars placements, a few good silences from what I saw, but just him, Big Monkey, I've really I gotta agree with you. That Neath pick, I don't think it's the player. I really do think it's the pick here really hurt this W key team.
Yeah, with the meta as it is at the minute, like, don't get me wrong, Neath's never been a meta god. Like, Neath's always been one of the niche picks. If you're a good Neath, you're a good Neath. But with the way the meta is at the minute, it's so snowbally. If you get to that mid to late game and you're massively ahead, you know, Neath is not one of those characters who really gives you that snowball impact. You know, Neath is not that character at all, whereas a Xbalanque 100% is. And as we see from the damage charts, you know, way more damage coming out of the ADC from Saffron over Paragon Wolf. And I think that it was more the pick than the player. Not to say that WK had a bad game. Obviously, we saw the early game how impactful Big Monkey was, able to obviously get a lot of damage off, a lot of good rotations, and really help Honkler get ahead. But Peanuts in the late game were just there, and their team fight was much better. They had the great team fight ultimates. They were able to pull beads and relics, and Saffron was able to play nice and safe with his Athena sitting next to him and able to poke out all the damage.
Absolutely. Well, as much as I think, Jordan, you and I both would have loved to see an ADC pick that played more to the name of the team and obviously the way they wanted to play throughout that game. They had a Neath, and I did see a few moments, just to go ahead and point out exactly what they did do. There were more than a few moments where this Neath was providing, in that early game, that mid game, the Neath was providing the value I think that you would expect out of a Neath. She's helping other lanes develop their lead. Sace, for a while, had a pretty big lead over Procrastinate, if I recall, about a level and a half. But it just, absolutely that lead got evaporated. Procrastinate and company for the Peanuts just had a really solid mid game and then an absolutely dominant late game.
Yeah, and that was again what we alluded to on the desk before is you let the Sebelonke and Athena just sit in lane and get at least be level to this Neath. Sebelonke is just more impactful in the late game, and that's all it come down to. As much as WK had the pressure in the solo, they just let this duo lane get ahead, and Saffron was allowed to farm and really sort of free cast in the backline, not really able to. When Big Monkey did get on the backline, that was impactful, but that last team fight there, we did see Big Monkey not around, Cecil not around to use the Final Judgment, which is exactly what you picked this stuff for, that Final Judgment, to steal away the objectives for big damage, and I think that was the misplay from them. I think they maybe could have fought back into it if they were able to try and steal that Fire Giant away or have Big Monkey's presence to be able to try and pick off Procrastinate or Saffron.
You know, and I do agree with you. I think that's one route you could take, but a route that I would have liked, what if they, instead of sending the Thoth back, send the Neath back? You still get the Thoth there to steal alongside the Ganesh, but now you can have the Neath ult one of the carries in that Fire Giant fight and potentially keep them from securing it while you do.
Yeah, 100%. I think it was a good play overall from Peanuts, and WK could have played a little bit better, but a good win overall for the Peanuts. And I think they're looking like a strong team. I think they're going to be a strong team this season, just based on what we've seen so far.
Peanuts look like an incredibly good team, and I can't wait to see more out of them, but that's going to have to wait at least for a little bit before we can get some more AGL casting through. We do have one more game, I do believe, to bring to y'all. But for now, we're going to go ahead and throw it to a break.
And muted.
Perfecto.
All right.
Nice. Where have I been pinged? I always get pinged when I'm doing this.
One of them is my fault. Actually, two of them are my fault.
Oh, I see.
I
Yeah, I don't generally look at pings during when I'm casting.
didn't think you would.
Just ignore them. No, I because I'm a league owner, I get pinged all the time for fucking useless shit half the time that I don't need to be pinged for, so I just ignore them.
No, I get that. Like, I wanted it to be there for when you got out, or the first one you could, just in case I forgot to say it.
Yeah, I was gonna unmute and like tell you guys that it was Arachne, but you guys had like kept talking already, and I was just like, meh, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not a big deal. We both missed it. I probably should have noticed that Arachne was over there, but I didn't.
Oh, I fucked up entirely. I said it was minions.
I tried to like zoom in on her to be like, it was her, and then try to see if you guys could notice it.
Because I noticed her split pushing earlier, I just didn't know she'd backed before then, but I just kind of assumed that, oh, she was in last, so it must have been her.
That's what I thought. That was a fun game, though. I like that game. That was a good game to watch.
So, am I staying on the desk, or am I switching back to chair?
I don't know. It's not up to me. I don't make the costs. Not my league. I make decisions in Camelot, not AGL.
Yep.
On the cast, if you want to just run the same thing we just did.
Honestly, I kind of wanted to cast.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll do desk.
Thank you.
I will be right back.
I'm just going to get the drink. I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Done a lot of talking.
Oh, dare you get a drink.
Oh, I've got one right now. I've got a body armor right here.
Oh, how dare you.
Too bad.
Body armor? I assume that's American drink.
It's something.
That's not a drink we have over here, so I'm going to assume that's an American drink of some kind.
I have
Never heard of
no
body
idea.
armor.
I'd have to look it
Never
up.
heard of it. I've never heard of body armor before. It sounds
Hello.
American. I'm not gonna lie to you.
New York,
It
New
sounds
York.
like an American drink.
There it is. Found it.
Yeah, I type in body armor, and the first thing I see on the website is a man wearing body armor with an NFL ball. So I'm gonna assume that yeah, that's very American.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you go on their homepage website. It's whoever Joe Burrow is. I have no idea who this geezer is, but he's got a fucking American football in his hand, and he's wearing shoulder pads, obviously.
Oh my god. That is about the funniest thing I've ever heard, and I wish I could fucking clip you talking about Joe Burrow now.
I'm British. I don't know. I don't watch. We don't have NFL. The only place that watches American football is America. Everywhere else in the world has no clue about it. I maybe pay attention to the Super Bowl every year, but I have no idea what's going on. I mean,
I
get
wanna.
people like
I
American
hate to break it to you, but if it wasn't watched in Britain at all, we wouldn't keep sending Jacksonville to you.
I've been to see an American football game, and it was the most boringest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I will, to this day, I won't go and watch another one. It's just stop start all the time. You do a little bit of running, and then it just stops for like fucking 2 minutes, and then a little bit of running again, and then it stops again. It's like I don't understand how it goes on for so long. It's just stop start all the time. I find that so boring. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on your guys' culture.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It's so.
It's just not for me.
What
Not
you
for me.
just yeah no, and what you just pointed out about football. A lot of people in America that don't understand soccer basically say the reverse about soccer. They're like, well, they're just running. That's all they're really doing is they're still running. Who
But it's
cares? They're
exciting
not
from,
doing it.
like they always go. It's always active. That's why I love soccer.
Oh no,
Most
I
active.
played 10 years of soccer as a kid. I love the sport. Don't get me wrong. I fucking enjoy the hell out of it. But there's a lot more to both games behind the, let's say, the stop-start or the always running. There's a lot more going on in the background. And what a lot of people don't get here in America, what they really point out is that it's so low scoring. You know, you spend 35 minutes trying to get one goal, or you spend 60 minutes trying to get one goal. And they don't understand why the build-up to that goal is the important part of the sport. And it's the same kind of concept here, except it's not like build up to all the points that are getting scored, because there's a shitload of points getting scored in football because you get 6 at a time or 3 at a time.
What are the teams? Sorry,
But-
the babies, PGD Red Cloud. Oh, it's Pittsburgh Gold Diggers team. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
it's-
Red Cloud. Was it Red Cloud?
It's a Dean team. It's Red Cloud.
Dean team.
It's a
I'm
Dean
ready to go
team.
whenever y'all are, by the way.
Okay. Oh, I know that team. Chiazuki, Crocodile, Big Fat Banana, End of Days, Ryujo, Magic Fits. Well, that's got some fucking people in it. He's got End of Days and Magic Fits on the same team. That's just a team that looks like it wants to implode. If ever I've seen one. What's the other team? Sorry.
Which one?
Red
Diaper
Cloud
Babies?
and Diaper Babies. Where are Diaper Babies? What do you know what division they are?
Nor
Sounds like I'm
Wallaby.
Wallaby.
I can't
don't
see
know where
them,
they
so
ended up, though.
I'm gonna assume they're out because I cannot see them on the list here on the rosters. So I'm gonna assume they did not make it through.
I don't know how my team made it through.
Oh no, they're there. Sorry, ignore me. They're in Narwallaby. Yeah, they're in Narwallaby.
A minute here.
I was like, I haven't memorized what teams are in my division yet.
Red Cloud are they in Narwallaby as well? Oh yeah, they're both in Narwallaby. Ignore me. I don't know this Diaper Babies team. I don't know any of the people on that team. They're not names that I'm familiar with. Don't know anyone. Yeah, you're Narwallaby, aren't you, Pam? Rosie, you're Narwallaby this season.
But yeah, to quickly summarize it, like, football is about 2 things. If you're a casual, it's about all the fucking hits, like people getting hit. But if you
If
want
I want to see people get hit, I just watch rugby.
if you want to see people get hit, watch ice hockey.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
Americans.
that's
We good to go, by the way?
I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm good.
Once cabbage is ready. Cabbage.
The 2 teams are.
They are PGD Red Cloud and Diaper Babies. They're conveniently next to each other in our Wallaby.
But there is as much to analyze in American football as there is in soccer. I
bet
will
there
say
is,
that.
100%.
Who's first pick?
Is it diaper babies?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm doing desk. All right.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready to go, yeah. Whatever. Cabbages.
You ready, Cabbage? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. I will count you guys in. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Albion Giants League. I am Cabbage, joined here on the desk by Jordan. We have one more relegations match to bring to you tonight between the Diaper Babies and PGD Red Cloud. And I mean, Jordan, the last two matches we had were quite entertaining. I'm sure this one won't be any different.
No, definitely not, especially with this being a lower skill level game, shall we say, not to say. But these matches are normally pretty kill heavy and pretty exciting to watch compared to the more sort of, more... I'm trying to think of the right word to use, but the more like constructed, shall we say, higher level gameplay, ELO gameplay games. So, but nonetheless, this will be exciting, and I think it'll be a good game to see. I think both these teams have got players who can pop off, so we'll have to wait and see as we get into the game. Hebo ban, once again, we saw it banned out in the last game. That's very interesting for me. Hebo is very snowbally, but I haven't seen a lot of play coming out of Hebo.
Could just be a god that maybe doing some research. Turns out both teams that it got banned against like to play. You never really know, and seeing as it's best of one, there's no chance for it to be left open once it is taken off the table. I think I agree with you, though. These bans do seem relatively standard, all things considered. But there just seem to be so many good gods right now, and way too few bans to take them all off the board. And with one ban left for PGD Red Cloud, I mean, what do you think Diaper Babies are going to be looking to pick up here?
They're gonna be... I mean, Apollo's been taken away, so if I was them, I'd maybe look into Arachne, potentially. We saw Arachne, but it is going to be the Agni, which I think is also good. I think Agni's fantastic in the mid lane. Notice this Raijin slup, and also Thoth, and Charon. We haven't spoken about Charon as well.
Raijin and Karen both left up, and it seems like Raijin and Karen both going to be taken away by PGD Red Cloud. And Jordan, you mentioned these gods for a reason.
Yeah, Raijin's so strong. Probably the best mid laner at the minute. I mean, there's a reason that Raijin has been picked in ADC. I've seen him being played in ADC in ranked, and he was even picked in solo in SPL this week because the god is just too good. Why are we letting this god through? Especially not picking up first pick. You know, Raijin over an Agni. Maybe it's comfort pick. Maybe he doesn't understand, like, you know. But if you're the side of the Diaper Babies, if you've not got a Raijin in the back pocket, you've got to be banning it away, especially if you're not looking to pick it up first pick.
Sun Wukong and Rama are going to be the next two picks locked in for Diaper Babies. And definitely strong picks, but Jordan, I can't help but feel like the picks that Diaper Babies are grabbing here are ones that are good, but not really top 3 worthy for the most part. Feels like there's some stronger stuff left up. I mean, you mentioned earlier that the Karen and the Raijin were left up. I mean, my mind goes to stuff like the Thor, like the Arachne that are still left on the table.
I mean, if I'm PGT Red Cloud here, I'm rubbing my hands together with what I've got left to pick. Like, you've got this whole plethora of jungle still available. You've got Kali, who's not really been, you know, picked or banned, but is really strong still. You've also obviously got Arachne, you've got Bakasura, Thor. There's so many options available. You've even got Yorm for solo lane, another god we haven't really spoken about a lot. There's so much up. Kabrakan as well. Like, you've got the plethora of choices here. I think picking up Ram and Agni this early on, a bit of a misplay from Diapers. But again, these are best of ones, as we've said. People maybe just looking towards comfort, more towards meta. And we've seen sometimes you can pick meta, so Heart's Content, but if you can't play the meta gods, the comfort pick gods will come through. Wukong, I think, is a strong solo laner currently, and as you alluded to, there is the Thor being picked up, and that is a really scary top 3. If I'm Diaper Babies, I'm looking at PGD Red Cloud, and I'm thinking they've just got a way of murder here.
Very, very scary top 3, especially considering the flex potential of the Raijin and the Thor. You mentioned the Yorm. I really hope no one locks that in because I'm going to mispronounce it and embarrass myself again. So I'm very glad that I...
Wait, that's happened once before?
What?
Jormungandr. I don't think I was there actually when maybe you mispronounced it. I won't make
Okay,
you say
okay.
it. So
You know, you know, if you know, you know. We'll just leave it at that. Like I know
Okay.
how to pronounce it. It's just I mispronounced it once, and now I can't pronounce it correctly anytime. And
we
it
all we
happened
all
on
have those
Tuesday,
days. It's
so yeah.
fine. We all have those days where you
We're
just can't say words.
we're just gonna sweep that under the rug. If you know, you know. Moving on to the bans, as Ganesh gets taken off the board. Another pick that possibly could have gotten picked up top 3 here for either team, but is left up to the second round of bans. Thanatos, we saw in the first game of the day, definitely had quite a performance, as well as the Odin and the Freya being taken off the board. We also saw Freya get played in these mage ADCs. We mentioned them in the first game of the night. Didn't really see him in the second game, if I recall correctly, but still definitely a threat. And with 3 of them still left up, do you think that maybe either team's going to be looking towards it? Or, I mean, I guess Diaper Babies can't grab one.
No, I think Diaper Babies with this Rama, they're not going to be looking for it. They've got Rama and they've got Agni, so I don't think they're going to be looking to pick it up. Maybe on the side of the PGT Red Cloud, Osiris, I think, is a fantastic pickup here. He's going to be able to match that sort of pressure that the Wukong gives, and he's going to be able to dive this backline of this Agni and Rama quite efficiently. He's going to be able to sort of chase down and really get on the backline. Kepri being picked up here, I think, is very smart. If you've got Osiris Thor coming in, you're going to be able to help out with that ultimate. The blessing coming out in the backline is going to be huge at trying to keep this Agni and Rama alive, and there's going to be good peel as well to stop this Thor and Osiris coming in. But as we mentioned, Ganesh, I think, is a perfect ban here from Red Cloud. You've got Thor who literally gets countered by Ganesh. If you've got a Ganesh in the backline of Diaper Babies, this Thor's going to have a lot of trouble. So banning that away, I think, is very, very smart. And I think Kepri, as much as it's good, is not going to be able to do as much as a Ganesh at stopping this Thor.
Jordan, as we see this Kepri and Neja get locked in, I'm looking over at the other side, and I think it's once again time for a cabbage prediction here. We have
Okay,
a Thor
I'm
and an
ready.
Osiris getting locked in here. So I need to determine where I think these are going to go. Again, I don't know either of these players, so I have no idea who's playing what role here. I'm going to wager, and I'm going to say that it's Osiris, jungle, or solo.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those for sure. But I think they could go either way. Like as I said, Osiris is fantastic at the minute with the changes. He obviously his 1 now clears completely through a minion wave rather than just stopping on the first minion. It's crazy. Like whenever I play Osiris now, I get confused because I'm like, all right, well, my 1 actually hit all the minions. What's going on? It's helped with his clear, and obviously with Gooseberries being around as well, his clear is just fantastic at the minute in that solo lane. He's able to just be so oppressive. So I would like, I think, to see that go into the solo lane and see this Thor maybe look to use the semi-global ult to try and impact the map a bit more. Maybe look to try and get this Rama and this Agni behind in the early game and really use that ultimate, but we'll have to wait and see what transpires. But I think I do favor the Red Cloud side, as you mentioned. I think that top 3 that they locked in there, of the Charon, of the Raijin, of the Thor, is fantastic for them. And I think this Raijin is going to go so massive in this late game.
I guess that does bring us to the final pickup that gets taken here by Red Cloud, because I agree that I think the top 4 that they managed to pick up in the draft were incredibly strong. With this time, something I've been seeing a bit more of recently in some of the games I've been playing, but not a pick that really screams to me like it's super strong. Do you think it's just a matchup thing or a comfort thing?
Potentially comfort, and maybe just looking to try and stop this Nisha, or this Wukong getting on the backline. If you're able to send them into Niflheim and negate them for that duration, they're not going to be in the team fight, and then you're going to be able to focus on the other frontliner who's going to be in front of you. If the Wukong dives in, you could ult him out the fight and then look to try and get all your damage onto this Nisha and kill this Nisha before the Wukong comes back down. So I think that's the reasoning behind it, is the safety there of that pick on the Heimdall. He's able to put a good amount of damage as well. He's obviously got good vision using his 1. He's able to obviously see with that 1 enemies in the jungle if he places it correctly. So I think this Heimdall, for me, a little bit of safety more than anything else. And I think you have got the damage in spades in the other characters on the side of PGT to be able to make up, not necessarily for the more burst ADC style that we see. Obviously, Heimdall has slower autos as part of his kit. So, but I think this Heim has picked up more for that ultimate, I think, in the backline and the safety more than anything else.
So considering that Heim is going to have the safety? You think that it's just going to be up to the rest of this Red Cloud draft to kind of match what Diaper Babies are able to do? And do you think the draft has what it takes?
Yeah, definitely. I think it does. I think you've got damage coming out of Raijin. Osiris does a ton of damage. Even the Charon. Charon is one of the most oppressive damaging supports out there. So I definitely think they've got the damage in spades to be able to maybe lack up for the ADC damage coming out of Tyler. Don't get me wrong. Tyler's still going to do a lot of damage, but maybe not as much as your traditional mage.
Well, as I bow out, Jordan, it looks like I am going to be incorrect. It is Osiris solo, Lord Jungle, bringing me to 2 and 24. And on that terrible disappointment, I'm going to hand it back over to Mechanus and Jordan on the cast for the final game of the night. Mechanus, Jordan, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Mechanus Cadicius here with Jordan running back over yet again. This time bringing our Wallaby relegation game to you, the Diaper Babies and PGD Red Cloud. As Diaper Babies gonna be a little bit late to this mid lane, and we brought it up time and time again, but getting a lead and snowballing it has been the name of the game in this patch, so being late to lane certainly doesn't help get that going.
No, definitely not. Raijin and Thor are going to have the pressure over this Ninja acting in the early game. And look at the damage coming out in this duel lane already. Well, I mentioned on the desk how much damage Charon is able to put out, but Charon and Heimdall over here putting some pressure out, and Kepri getting low already.
Oh, absolutely. Charon is one of the best pressure picks in the game from support. Maybe doesn't have the greatest peel, but definitely has some amazing pressure. What? Where did Ninja go? I spent this time talking about the ADC, but where did Ninja go? Just gone.
That's the power of Raiju and a conduit gem, my friends. That's exactly what happened there. Raijin is so good right now, and it's just scary to see him picked up and allow Red Cloud to have him here. And we've already seen it being impactful. Thor gets the kill, but no, I think that was mostly Raijin.
Jordan, can I confide something into you right quick?
Yes.
I honestly did not expect to see Ninja die there, and it looks like Soul didn't think they were going to die there either, but Soul should get out alive from this. Indeed, the rotation from the jungler and the mid laner, and the Ninja goes in, but the Ninja is going to be deleted just as fast as the first time. And now the Kepri trying to make sure the ADC gets away, trying to make sure they get away. The ADC should be fine, but the Kepri will not be. And the Raijin has a double kill and 2 to start the game. Thor took that first one.
Yeah, I mean, this is Raijin in a nutshell. He just does so much damage. You can't let him get ahead, and he's already 2-0. And the rotation there, Charon is so safe, is able to do so much damage. You're never going to kill him. Like, he just rows his boat away. You know what I mean? He's able to row that boat out of the fights. He's able to dash through, stun a load of people. And we're just seeing the impact that they're having already. These two characters that normally get banned away, this Charon and this Raijin, they're having such an impact on this early game. Not to take away from Chiazuki at all. I think Chiazuki had a fantastic Thor ball there that was able to land a lot of the damage that Raijin wanted to do. But this Raijin making such an impact early on in this game. We already see 1,000 gold lead going in the favor of Red Cloud already. See the pressure coming out in the dual lane here. Tyler getting very low, being poked out. Fantastic Kepri grab coming out though, but the Charon stun is good. Heimdall maybe going to use the crystal to escape, and that's the power of the Heimdall. So safe with that crystal being able to just teleport out, and that's going to be up fairly shortly back again.
Absolutely, and especially as far as that crystal is, that is maybe 5 feet.
It's only 5 feet, but it makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely, and it especially makes the difference with the cooldown as well. You brought it up, it's going to be up extremely fast because he went almost nowhere, but that time, almost nowhere was everything. And now, Diaper Babies, they're looking to get their hands on this gold buff. Or, in this case, get the Kepri pincers on it. Well, instead they're going to get the Rama hands on it.
Yeah, good to see him get a little bit of pressure over here after a little bit of a scrappy early game. We see the Ninja taking his mid-cabs as well. Shield buff taken away is definitely going to help this Rama in this duo lane. But such a fantastic start that PGD Red Cloud have had. They're going to have to try and keep this up here, and Diaper Baby is going to have to try and do something. We see Thor wrapping around in this mid lane once again, but looking for something on the Agni.
Agni going to get stunned out of the dash. The double tap is good, but the damage... Never mind, Ryzen wants the ult! He's going into tower for it! But the Thor up in the air. The Anvil of Dawn will land, but not quite enough range. The Agni will get away, but the Manlet will find Tyler 2K!
Yeah, all that pressure in the mid lane there. They just weren't able to find the kill. Unfortunately, the ultimate was off the mark from the Raija, and they were able to hit one tick of that. And Thor was just out of range. A good beats there from the Agni to be able to beat and get out of what the Thor's done. But on the left-hand side, we saw Nijar getting a fantastic pick over there, helping that Rama get a kill onto PGT Red Cloud's Tyler 2K on the Heimdall. As much as he's safe, he's not going to be safe if two members gank onto him. The Astral Barrage was used to pick up the kill there. Fantastic gank. And PGT Red Cloud, for all they got in the early game, did nothing out of mid lane there. And the Diaper Babies with a little win on the dual lane.
Absolutely. And you love to see it because Heim is one of those characters that late game can be pretty terrifying. And Raiju already putting in massive work onto this cap rate.
Yeah, they changed Raiju, so it actually does damage on the initial hit now, as well as, which I think is a major reason why Raijin is so good at the minute. Obviously, before, you used to put a Raiju onto someone, didn't used to do any damage. You used to have to connect with either a basic attack or ability-based of your one to proc that, but it now actually does damage on the initial hit as well. So if you're able to land that Raiju, you're getting double the damage out.
Absolutely, and Nisha almost stole that camp away. I gotta point that out. That was
very close to getting that there.
And it looks like we're seeing a little bit of a skirmish there for the moment at the left side between the Heim and the Rom. And neither side really getting too much the better of that, but two ADCs. So what are they really gonna do? They're just gonna sit there and farm.
And we see with the lead that Rajan has already, he's able to finish his Charon's coin and build this first item already, whereas Agni still hasn't quite got that coin built. Maybe he's going to go to Chronos Pendant. We'll have to see what he exactly builds into there. Quite a couple of options for him, Agni. Often you see them build that Chronos Pendant first to try and get them bombs up as quickly as possible. Raiju, obviously, Rajan even going into that as we see the bombs coming out.
Bomb combo doing a... That damage is massive. I mean, people want to talk about the amount of damage that Raijin is doing. Agni himself is also doing quite a bit of damage, as you can see, topping the damage charts. So, this Agni is not somebody to forget about, for sure. And Capri.
Definitely, those Agni bombs will be impactful in the late game, for sure, as we get towards this late game. Raijin obviously puts out a lot of damage with the Raiju and the ultimate and the beating drums, but don't forget about Agni, as we see Gankir onto the
Charon putting a lot of effort through to get the ultimate down, but Manlet with the beads on the wall, and maybe indeed will get out of that. Going to go into the ult just to ensure a little bit of safety there. Probably didn't need it. It seemed like the tower had enough of his back. But the Thor going to look to chase this down even further. We'll find that Rom is backing under his tier 2. Now, though, end of days in a lot of trouble, and it'll be the end of his days as Nijal will end him with the Windfire Wheels.
Once again, we see, Diaper Babies doing the opposite on the other side of the map, just better. You know, 3 members over there. There was 3 members of PGG Red Cloud unable to take the Rama. I think the Rama did a fantastic job of holding the beads. Didn't use it on the Camelot, did use it on the Thor wall and managed to get out. And we see PGG Red Cloud with that gank over onto the right-hand lane from the side of Diaper Babies. Look to pick up this Gold Fury, but the Rama is here. He has no Astral Barrage, though, for secure.
Yeah, the Astral Barrage getting used. Personally, again, as I pointed out, I don't like the Astral Barrage usage. But Rom showing up is enough to get PGD Red Cloud off of the Gold Fury and to get a kill on a Chiazuki while they're at it. The Diaper Babies, they may have fallen down almost immediately, but they've gotten back up. And now, Heim has to get away, but the stun onto Tyler, and that's a lot of damage suddenly put into him. Tyler.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a lot of success from this Nijar on this left-hand side. We're seeing this Nijar starting to come online now. You know, had a bit of a rough early game, but is now ahead of this Thor, and is really using this pressure on these side lanes. You know, this Thor's not really getting a lot out of the rotations so far, and that gold lead now is actually in favor of Diaper Baby. 500 gold up, and this Nijar, I think, is definitely the catalyst towards this. Nijar we normally see, once they get to level 5, start to rotate out, and they're definitely using that to good effect so far.
Absolutely, a lot of good things going on for this Diaper Baby squad in the PGD Red Cloud. However, looking at the solo lane again, and the Wukong, he wants to kill this Osiris. Osiris, however, doesn't have the ultimate available, but the Thor will come in. Double tap is good. Wukong still looking for the kill. Not quite enough damage to take the Osiris, but not going to be able to follow up either. Both solo laners.
Once again, look at it. Thor over here in the right-hand lane does not find the kill, but where's Nijar? Over on the left-hand side, Tyler 2K is dead once again. No success for the jungle as we see the bombs coming out and just able to get into the angle in time. But once again, Red Cloud finding no success with their jungle ganks, whereas Nijar finding all the success on the opposite side of the map.
And you know, sometimes that's just how it goes, is you go to gank somewhere and it doesn't work out, and then you watch the jungler on the other side because you ganked to one side, they went to the other, and maybe somebody's pushed a little too far up, or maybe the gank was just better. You know, you never know until you go back and look at it through the VOD review if you can. You know, and sometimes it's out of the jungler's control. Sometimes it is the jungler, and it changes from situation to situation.
Yeah, I think they've paid a lot of attention to this Wukong over here, but he's so safe. He's Wukong, even with the ult up there, you saw. He's obviously got the Glad Shield online. He's got the 72 transformations as well. He's just so safe and so tanky at this point in the game. He's got that Soul Eater to heal up as well. He's so hard to lock down and such a hard target to gank. And I think maybe they're just paying a little bit too much attention as Raijin gets caught out in the mid lane. Good sash into the damage there from Agni. Finishes off Raijin. Got a little bit caught out of position there, I think. Maybe didn't know that they were rotating over.
Absolutely, and a very good grab by the Khepri, and the Windfire Wheels will take Chiazuki into the air, and he will fall on the return down from the skies as this Nijar has been going massive through the mid-game.
Yeah, and this may be a goal pull here, and it does look like that's going to be the case. It does look like PGD Red Cloud do have the vision on this, and the Charon is around, and the Heimdall, though, is under tower, so he's not going to be here, so it's going to be up to this Charon to try and steal this away. It doesn't look like they actually want to commit onto it, though. They're kind of just pulling it and not really doing much to it, maybe just looking for a fight more than anything.
Yeah, they're just showing their presence. That baby's like, hey, this is where we are, we want to fight you. And PGD Red Cloud, though, doing a good job just trying to farm up, not really showcase what they're doing. But the Raijin will come up, and the Raijin will get deleted now, but Soul will throw his ultimate out there. The wave goes through, and the Anvil of Dawn is dropped. And the Agni having to be very careful here, but the rower your boat not quite going to find him. Doesn't want to go into tower to chase down the Agni.
Are able to push out, though, and are going to be able to pick up this beacon with the low health bars on the side of Diaper Baby. So a little win here for BGD Red Cloud, but once again, Heimdall has to use the ult defensively. Not going to have that up now, so would expect this Nijar to come over and rotate over, knowing that he doesn't have that ultimate available. And now we see PGD Red Cloud are actually going to pick up this Fire Fury even. They're taking the wins here wherever they can, looking to pick up these objectives. And I think Diaper Babies have been caught napping.
You know, you started to say Fire Giant, and I really wanted to be like, dang, that'd be a really early pull.
I've seen some 30-minute Fire Giants crazy calls in my time. They never end well, but I'd love to see it just for the craziness, you know.
Oh, absolutely. There's got to be a team that can do it. As Khepri is going to find a kill onto the Thor in the midst of his entire team. You know it's Rising Dawn that did it, though.
Oh, 100%. Rising Dawn. You're a Khepri. You've got to try and kill someone with Rising Dawn. That's your goal. So, yeah, this Thor's not having a great mid-game transition so far. Now 3 levels down on Nijar, just not getting the same value out. I think he's getting a little bit too over-aggressive. He's trying to land the ults, he's trying to get stuff happening, but just isn't finding the damage. As we saw on that beacon fight earlier on, we saw him ult in, but he didn't hit any of the squishies. He hit the Khepri. you're not going to do anything to a Kepri at that point in the game, and able to get the double tap off. If he'd have landed on those squishies and was able to get the wall and the double tap off, that would have been a completely different beacon fight. But the Charon here, looking to steal this Pyromancer away.
Not gonna get it. The Kepri will die in return. Finish Mafia will fall to Chiazuki. Massive ultimate in by the Raijin. Huge damage being dealt to this Ninja who can't get away. However, the Ninja will find a ring toss on the way out, and the ring will find Thor on the back end. Now the Raijin, though, has to be extremely careful, but the Agni will find Raijin. And now the Red Cloud are on the retreat, as Agni will find the sun and will find really good damage into the Charon. Now they've got the Wukong fighting 2-on-1. The Wukong's gonna have to back away.
Yeah, scrappy fight overall. The Diaper Babies do secure the Pyro, but a very, very scrappy fight. It does end up being a 2-for-2 trade, but look at the damage! The damage coming out from an Agni and a Wukong there. We do see that the Osiris doesn't have any straight-up magical protection, only has prophetic so far, so maybe that's a key factor in why the Agni's able to do a lot of damage, but they are looking for this tier 1 tower here.
Oh, that was a massive wall stun to a double tap. That's going to send Agni reeling, as now Chiazuki looking for a kill. Instead will be found by the Ninja yet again. Same song and dance. However, now he's got to use the ultimate defensively on the Raijin to buy himself some time. And now the Kepri ultimate, the Scarab's Blessing, found on the Ninja, who's going to be able to get away. They can't wait for the kill. Chiazuki going to be caught by a tower shot, but it won't be enough. And now Charon trying to send the ultimate out there, but that won't be enough. Manlet finding Chiazuki, able to dive into the Red Cloud offensive even, as now the ADC is rushing into the enemy backline. Manlet will find End of Days. Manlet will not find Soul, but will force him to back. And now, the Diaper Babies, they don't need to keep fighting. Everything is down. They've gotten the win. And the Manlet will find Raijin under tower.
Yeah, fantastic gank around there from the Manlet. He was not in that fight the entire time. Diaper Babies were fighting that as a 4v4. And was able to back around the back there and just pick off the low health targets on the side of PGD Red Cloud. Raijin doing as much damage as he could, but it's not going to be enough. So many low health bars on the side of Diaper Babies. But Manlet comes in on full health and just picks apart the remaining members. Fantastic fight there in the mid lane. Once again, a very scrappy fight to start off with. No real team sort of getting the upper hand. But that Manlet rotation there from the duo lane. He's having a fantastic game so far. As we see 5,000 gold down in favor of Diaper Babies. 9,000 experience. And you got to think a lot of that is going to be coming out of this jungle and also out of this duo lane.
Absolutely. A lot going on for the Diaper Babies here. They've been extremely successful at building a lead. Now it's about maintaining and pushing that lead. And the Oni Fury is a great part of that. Oni waves are quite the threat to opposing teams' towers. And when you have a lead, at least one of these towers should fall.
Yeah, and I
The
think we're
finish.
seeing the...
Finish Mafia caught out a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He's too tanky because he's so far ahead. And the Manlet going to find Chiazuki. Finish Mafia unable to steal that kill away from his team there.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing the age-old, as I said on the desk before with Mr. Cabbage, the age-old comfort over meta currently. PGT might have the meta squad, but they're definitely not playing the meta squad to quite the standard that they need to here. And they're just getting caught out everywhere on the map. The goon squad that is the Diaper Babies, roaming around as a group of 4, just picking up everyone. They just look so comfortable on this pick. It looks like they've played together for years. The combos of the CC followed by the damage is really helping them. And they're taking a tier 2 higher in mid now. 6-7k up now. And they're sieging towards this Phoenix.
Charon going to be able to stop them from sieging quickly. That fear good at just getting in the way of the siege. But the damage coming out from this Agni makes it incredibly difficult to want to do any, or to be able to beyond just one. But it makes it difficult to be able to step up. The Agni just bombing over the wall at will. So much
So
damage.
safe is that Wukong, the Somersault Cloud, is able to just walk into the Phoenix, do a bunch of damage, and just leave. And I think that's going to be the end of the push here, but you got to look towards this Pyro and this Fire Giant that are up. I think Fire Giant may be a little bit overzealous, but But this Pyro definitely may be the call here, and that is exactly where the Diaper Babies are going. They're going to look to push this lead even further. I don't mind the call there to try and go for that Phoenix. Maybe look to try and get Red Cloud sleeping, napping, as babies obviously do. They're Red Cloud napping, sorry. But yeah, Pyro, good call there. I think a good call to pick off and get that Pyro.
I was about to ask, what Cloud sleeps?
I got myself confused. It's late for me, all right. It's 2:30 in the morning for me. You'll have to bear with me. My brain doesn't work properly this time of night. So
Jordan, you're not the American. I'm supposed to be playing myself, not you.
I won't comment anymore.
Either way, PGD Red Cloud in a bit of trouble here. They're gonna have to try and make a comeback into this game, but Shizuki caught out by the Wukong, taking half his health bar from just the Wukong of the Diaper Babies. And I'll be honest here, this is a massive deficit in the jungle. Shizuki has done a lot to try and mitigate that, and even had a lead early on, but with that early kill on the Nija. But this Nija has not only played back in, but played some phenomenal smite. Not just jungle, not just phenomenal jungle, some phenomenal smite. Honestly, has been positioning really well for a lot of these Sash engages.
It's going to be difficult for Red Cloud to get back into this. You know, Thor is 4 levels down on the mid laner of Diaper Babies. He's 5 levels down on Rama. How do you dive into that? There's no way you can dive into that. He's only just finished his 3rd item, whereas Rama has 4 full items online, and this Nisha is ripping through end of days here on this Osiris, and they're just taking no damage on the backside from it. And this Thor is going to have such a tough time. The whole reason you pick Thor is to semi-global ult in the early game, look to put the pressure on, and in the backline and in the late game is to dive onto these backlines and kill them. But if you're 4 or 5 levels behind, you haven't got that. You haven't got the ability to be able to go in and delete someone because you're just too far behind. And I think that's really going to be a trouble here for PG Red Clouds. They now look to Diaper Babies to siege this tier 2.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. And one of the biggest things about that, though, is the way I look at it. You talk about, well, you dive the backline. How do you dive the backline? You don't. It's that simple. You sit back, you farm up. Like, if you're Thor right now, I think you just sit here and farm up. That's all you can do. You do what you can. It always sucks to have to say that and have to act on that. But, you know, it's about realizing what you have to do and what you can do and making those line up. In this regard, what he has to do is not what he can do. So he has to take the steps to make that line up, and that means he has to farm. But Tyler 2K may be caught out of position. Indeed is caught out of position. A massive Windfire Wheels. Tyler was just trying to farm, but Tyler needed to realize that his team is not in a position to be that far up.
No ward vision whatsoever. The whole Goon squad come over. Group of 5 picking up Tyler, and that's been the MO of this team. Just pick someone up, but the team fight is still ongoing.
Reginald going to be good enough to get his team out. Soul able to get away. The Styx Ferryman able to ferry his way on out. Gold Fury getting melted rather quickly. Osiris just going to be able to watch, but he's going to leap in at the end. And I fear that is not the play, as End of Days, yet again, is going to fall. We've seen this song and dance played before, and it's not a pretty one.
It's not at all. I think Osiris diving in there was a Hail Mary play. Just try and get something back for this PGD Red Cloud team. Try and do something to try and get back into the game. Maybe the wrong member to try and send in to try and steal that there. Maybe look to try and get a bit of Ryzen damage off, or send your Thor in to maybe ult and try and hammer out. But Thor's so far behind, he'll probably just get deleted anyway. And a bit of a Hail Mary play from Red Cloud doesn't really pay off. End of days. A little bit too late with the ultimate. Doesn't quite manage to steal the Gold Fury away. But they're trying their best to get back into this game. But they're just, whatever they're trying is just not working. 11k XP difference now. Almost 8k in the bank, in the gold difference. It's going to be rough for PG Red Cloud. They've got to maybe try and look to steal a Fire Giant away. Maybe like try and look to find someone napping on the side of the Diaper Babies in the jungle. And just like take a pick somewhere and try and get some sort of win. But it's Diaper Babies who want to stop this Fire Giant. Let's see if PG Red Cloud have got any answer.
Absolutely. PGD Red Cloud deciding to show their faces for this one. They do have all 3 of their Phoenixes still up, so it's not like they're defending Fire Waves. But they did just get baited in by the Diaper Babies. But a beautiful wall from Chiazuki will separate the fight perfectly and keep his team safe.
Yeah, Diaper Babies just peeling away, but it doesn't look like they're going to go back towards this Fire Giant again. They're just trying to bait this Red Cloud team in to try and get them to come over to try and fight. But it looks like the Titans spawning on this right-hand lane is where their attention is going to be. And we saw this in the last game. We saw how impactful it is just to push this Titan up here and then look towards the fire, because that leaves Red Cloud with the choice. You've either got to defend your tier 2 or you've got to defend the Fire Giant. And we'll see exactly what Diaper Babies, and they're doing that exact thing. They are looking here, and the whole entire team of Red Cloud is backing. Everyone is backing on the side of Red Cloud. They've all backed. This is a free Fire Giant for the Diaper Babies. Absolutely free.
It is a free Fire Giant for sure, but Pyromancer taken by Red Cloud. So it looks like Red Cloud just looking to burn out this Titan, make sure it can't get any value. And they're doing exactly that. The Titan itself was burning, but now not quite fast enough, and the Diaper Babies are going to be able to get value out of this Titan. That will be a tier 2 that's going to fall. Possibly more. This Titan's still at half health. Soul having to retreat. And now the Windfire wheels, but the Nijal will come back down into a massive taunt back in by the Raijin, who immediately has teleported away, but massive damage having been dealt. And now the Sun Wukong will make his way out. The Phoenix will fall. Rom with the snipes will find the Raijin. And this Rom has gone divine. But now the Order side Titan a little bit distracted here by the minions. Going to end up falling to the Chaos Titan. However, does it really matter? Diaper Babies are 5 strong. They're looking at another Phoenix. And the entirety of PGD Red Cloud, they are wasting their time with a Khepri. And they still haven't killed him. The Root. And they haven't killed the Khepri. The Khepri gets away.
Kemper is still alive, Fire Giant sustain, and they actually end up picking up Chiazuki, getting a little bit overzealous. Tunnel vision coming out here, and the Soul on the Carol may now be the next pick, and they're actually going to come back to the Phoenix.
If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, it seems. PGD Red Cloud not only on the back foot, they're on the back heel. They're laying down. The Manlet will find Soul. Nijal with the Windfire wheels rips into the Titan room. Tyler 2K is dead. And the Titan, if the Diaper Babies have anything to say about it, the Titan will be next. Raiju out onto the Agni, but Agni won't be found by any of the damage from this Raijin. Raijin, however, will be found by Agni's damage, but going to be able to get back to Fountain and play it safe, but it won't be for anything, as the Titan will fall. The Diaper Babies will take care of that Red Cloud.
Yeah, that was just a good play there. Diaper Babies, I think, saving their blessing, shall we say, that Khepri especially, able to get out on literally 0 HP. The Fire Giant sustain, able to tick him just back up enough, and the natural defenses there. Did have to use his ultimate to save himself, but was able to get out. And I think on the side of Red Cloud, they just saw red. They had the tunnel vision, just tried to kill this Khepri so much that they just sort of got a bit of tunnel vision and really played into Diaper Babies, baiting them out of that Phoenix. And then once they're out of that Phoenix defense, fantastic play there from the Diaper Babies to be able to pick that up. Manlet going deathless. Orange Loop also going deathless as well. Fantastic from Manlet. I think he had a great game, pumping out 18k damage. 10-0 on the stat line, and just in the right places at the right times to pick up the kills. Not to take away from this Nijar, the 3-3-14, more of an assist spot than anything, but those Windfire wheels, those sashes were on point throughout the whole entire game and really allowed the rest of the team to be able to get through. And that was a fantastic game overall, and a fantastic last play there from the side of the Order side to be able to pull that out.
So you point out that Nijal is an assist bot, but I mean, that's exactly what you expect out of a Nijal jungle. 21,000 damage, but all in the assist category because you're going in and setting somebody up to die. You're doing all this damage because when they land, that's when they're going to die. You're going to get hit by some kind of massive damage, be it Ra, be it Raijin, be it I mean, in this case, Agni is just gonna drop multiple bombs on your head. Like, it's just, it was too much for any single target to take. Or you find a Heim who's 3 levels down of you. He's just going to die from 3/4 of his health from your ult alone. It's too
definitely.
much. Though, going back to what you just said, so what you're telling me is Chiazuki only saw red, that his vision was clouded?
Okay, no more puns. No more puns. No more puns. Let's throw it over the cabbage on the desk with me before Mechanics can make any more puns.
I'm here to help. It should be the end of the puns for now. But I did, again, just want to talk about what you were talking about earlier. Just this setup that Cat Frog Carl on this Neja was able to provide to the team. 14 assists, participation in 17 kills, and I mean, it really showed. Didn't really show in the kill column, but I mean, all you really want at the end of the day is to get that win for your team.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you're doing as Nijar. Nijar is looking to just single target someone out every single fight, take someone off the map, get some damage off, and if the rest of the team can follow up, you're doing your job correctly. You know, Nijars, you're never going to see crazy stat lines coming out of Nijars. Nijars generally don't, you know, get those 10 and 0s, those 11 and 0s, unless they're not really being targeted, because they're in there, they're in the thick of it. You know, they're going to come down and they're going to expect to have damage put onto them. But as long as they can get some relics off, as long as they can get some damage off, and the team's there to follow it up, which is exactly what we saw. Cat Frog definitely had a fantastic game, and the rest of the team was just there. I almost called him Cat Girl. I almost called him Cat Girl. It's late for me. My words aren't good.
No, I got you. It's that time of night when everything's slurring together and then you find everything funny. No, I get you. I mean, well, either way, we'd given the draft advantage to Red Cloud at the beginning, and as you talked about just throughout the game and a bit after the game, it just seemed like they weren't quite able to execute on the draft like they really needed to. And I guess going forward, do you think that it's just something that they need to work on as a team, or do you think they might want to stick with picks that just work better for them as players?
I think so. I think, especially in like these best of ones, you know, everyone knows that the meta is good, but you've got to be able to play the meta. You know, it comes back to the old ranked analogy. You know, gold lobbies and below, comfort will always win. You know, and once you get past the gold ranks, then maybe look to pick up meta. But at this level of play, comfort is just the way to go. You know, if you're comfortable on your picks and you can play them well enough, the meta doesn't really matter too much. The meta is always going to be prevalent. Obviously, if you can play Raijin and he's your best god, of course you're going to have prevalent on him. But I think they even though they picked the meta picks, they just really didn't play them to the way they should be played. I think they had a fantastic start to the game. You know, Chiazuki and Raijin in the mid lane was able to get that first blood. But after that point, the Thor just was not able to do much. As we saw, he was ganking onto lanes, but he just wasn't quite landing the walls, wasn't quite landing the ultimates, and the effect was being felt with the Nijar on the opposite side of the map, just using the pressure and getting the kills and the assists over on the opposite side of the map and really getting the lanes ahead. And I think that's where it started to go downhill from Red Cloud, was this Thor unable to really do much when it got to that mid and late game, because he was just so far behind with wasted ganks, and not wasted ganks, shall we say, I think that's a bit harsh, but almost just not able to pick up any kills or assists, and wasting a lot of time, shall we say, trying to gank.
Well, Jordan, I think that we've just about said everything that needs to be said, and so for the sake of making sure that you get at least some sleep before the day ahead of you, and for the sake of brevity here, I think we're going to end the stream. Just want to say thank you to everyone who was viewing. Definitely had a blast casting all these games, and I mean, hey, stick around over the next couple days, next couple weeks for more matches to be streamed, whether it's relegations or even matches once the regular weekly sets start getting played. Definitely a lot of action happening here on the Albion Giants League. Once again, I have been Cabbage, joined by Jordan here on the cast, and the pun maker extraordinaire who we saved your eardrums from, Mechanus, is also joined us tonight. And I also want to thank Rosie Panda running the production. I think production definitely deserves a lot more credit than they get. So now everyone go wish her a good night, and wish you all a good night as well. And good luck.
Goodbye.
And muted.
All right.
Cabbage,
Perfect.
I want to point something out. He has to put up with me just about every week in CSL.
I do, yeah. I have to listen to the puns. That's what, as soon as I heard him start to make it, I was like, no, I'm gonna cancel this man. But I'm not having him make another pun. Not today.
Oh, I was still making puns all set. What do you mean?
I know. I have to deal with it all the time.
I forget who the hell I got compared to by Phoenix. And he was like,
Marissa and Sparked are the worst. Marissa and Sparked. Marissa is the pun maker. Marissa just makes puns all the time. That's all Marissa does. Awful for it. She's worse than you.
yeah, that sounds about right. I got compared to Marissa for puns, and I am happy about it.
Typically possible
What do you mean?
for someone to be worse than you at making fun.
Apparently it is, according to Jordan.
It is. If you've ever spoken to Marissa, she put puns everywhere.
Oh no.
Pun, 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 pun.
No.
Phoenix.
I know her and Phoenix in their private server have a because I've seen it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Phoenix and Marissa have a skin pool just based off puns. They have a
No.
whole chat where they put skin ideas in that are just based off puns alone.
No.
Yes.
That. I don't like that.
I know because I've seen it.
Why? Alright, well.
That was fun. I had a lot of talking. That was good casting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Get
I will
some
talk
rest.
to y'all later.
See you, Rosie.
Bye.
Well, goodbye.
Get some rest, everyone. You're gonna need it.
And I'm gonna disappear. So goodbye, friends.
Goodbye.
Night, man. I'm not gonna say that. For everyone but Dean. This one looks really weird. Yo, what's up?
Gang.
I just dragged Jordan through Pun City, kicking and screaming the whole way.
We're streaming your voice on your fucking YouTube channel.
I was? When?
Yeah.
What?
When you were doing the AGL cast.
The f-
Yeah, because you went, like, I saw it on my fucking YouTube because I was watching.
The